Hey everyone, Macca here, and welcome to this video where I look over my gamer card upon reaching 700,000 Gamerscore. I really like achievements, and as a result, I gain a decent amount of Gamerscore. So every once in a while, I reach these milestones, with this one being 700,000. We're going to go through all of the games I played to get there since the last video. This is a little bit of a tradition here on the channel. This is also my first ever milestone on the Xbox Series X, which I thought was pretty cool. If you are interested, there have been 11 videos in this series already, counting down all the way from 0 Gamerscore up to 600,000. So in this video, we'll be talking about just the last 100K from 600 to 700,000. The last video was made in December of 2019, so I was able to grab about 100,000 Gamerscore in 11 months. Now strap in, grab a coffee, and relax. We're going to be going through quite a few games, and I'll be talking quite a bit. This video will likely be over an hour. Now, feel free to follow me on Xbox Live if you want. My gamer tag's Macca91. You can see what I'm playing and as I work towards new milestones. Now, I'm going to be going through all of my games, and I always get a lot of different people in the comments judging me for different reasons. Some people think I play too many easy games, which is a fair criticism. Some people think I don't play enough hard games. Again, a pretty fair criticism. I've always encouraged people to just kind of play the way they want to. Now, I don't get a chance to complete a lot of really hard games because I'm always trying to play the newest, latest, and greatest games so that I can make videos for you guys. And as a result, I just don't get around to completing some of them. Although I do have some really cool ones that I have in our list. Some really tough completions that I'm pretty proud of. And as for the easy games, there are a lot of easy games on my list, but I've actually recently not been playing a lot of really hard games. I don't know what it is. I think with the Gamerscore and, just doing achievements, you have these up phases and these down phases. And right now, I'm just not really enjoying playing a lot of these easy games. I could probably have 750,000 Gamerscore by like the end of the week if I really wanted to. I haven't played easy games for quite a while, but that is a topic and discussion for another video. Let's just get started with the most recent game I played, and that was Dirt 5, where I have 950 out of 1,000. You may be wondering why I haven't completed it, and that is because this last achievement is completely glitched for me at 98% unlock. I'm either waiting for them to patch it, or I'm going to wait for them. I'm going to maybe recover my gamer tag and figure it out. Now, you may see that there is a picture of 10,000 miles, but the description says 1,000 miles, and that is because this achievement was actually updated to be 10 times easier than it was, which is very good because otherwise this game is like 200 hours, and it was just stupid because the entire career for this game takes only about 20 hours. I will get the 1,000 out of 1,000 in Dirt 5. I just kind of have to wait for them to fix the game. Now, I am at 700,060, as you can see in the top left corner, and that is because I was playing a little bit of Call of Duty last night, and I unlocked the Zombies Easter egg, as well as a Zombies achievement for getting 14 different types of items in one match. I ended up just grabbing those before I got around to filming the video. I do have the plan of reaching 1,000 Gamerscore in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. There is a very tough and kind of dumb achievement called Reunited with Fidolina, and it has a extremely rare 0.01% chance or unlock rate rather, and it's in the mode that no one plays called Dead Ops Arcade, and it takes like 4 or 5 hours, and the game crashes quite a bit. So you can kind of see where the problems are here. I do really want to grab this, and this is kind of the only thing that's going to be holding most people back from getting the 1,000 Gamerscore. Otherwise, it's not really that hard of a completion. Then we have Battletoads, 1,000 out of 1,000. This one is pretty rare, and this will be the first time I probably reference TA or True Achievements. If you like Gamerscore, you probably know about True Achievements, but maybe if you're a little bit more casual and may not know, it is a website called trueachievements.com. If you sign up, you can put me as your referral. But you can go on there and you can basically compare your achievements with other people to see how rare your games are. So really easy games on True Achievements will only be worth 1,000 True Achievement points, but a really hard game like Battletoads may be worth something like 4,000. So the harder the game, the more points it's worth. You kind of get an idea of how much your gamer score is worth in a different sense of, scale. So Battletoads is kind of a rare completion, but I think it's mostly because there's a couple of 3-player co-op achievements that are hard to do with your, you can only play it in local co-op. So you will need 3 controllers. And for some of them, you may actually want 3 people to help you, or 3 total people. You can do these alone. I did a lot of the 3-player ones alone, but in particular, there is this one where it's very hard to do by yourself. You probably will need one other person. You will have to beat the game on the hardest difficulty. Battletoads was a great game for 2 hours and a terrible game for 2 hours. I think it's a really good beginning and a really terrible end. Next up, we have completed The Tourist, which I have a video on the channel for this game if you want to use the full game walkthrough. A really great and underrated game that only takes around 3 hours or so. It is an isometric adventure mystery game, and I highly, highly recommend it. Then we have Bright Memory. Also, I do have a full 5-hour Twitch clip of when I streamed. I streamed all of these games, at least the top 10 in this list. And you can watch that. I also streamed Bright Memory, and I grabbed the 1,000. For this game, you have to complete the game 3 times. You have to get all the collectibles and then do a couple of miscellaneous tasks. This is technically, I think, the only Xbox Series X exclusive I've played so far. It's really not that great, but it is a pretty cool game for a couple bucks, and I decided to support it. Why not? It's a first-person shooter. Kind of reminded me a little bit about Bulletstorm, if you keep that in mind. Now, I planned on getting the 50 gamer score from Dirt in my stream. However, it didn't unlock, so I had to improvise, and I ended up grabbing 50 gamer score in a really old game called Monochroma. As you can see here, there is a gap of like 3 years between achievements. This game might have been good when it came out like 6 years ago. It is in the style of Limbo, but playing it in 2020, it is just not good. Tetris Effect Connected. I love Tetris. I'm not that great at it, but I'm okay. And Tetris is something I can always go back to, and it just kind of like, it's like riding a bike. It doesn't feel familiar maybe right when you get on that bike, but after 10 minutes, it's like you never stopped. And Tetris is kind of like that for me. Love me some Tetris. Tetris Effect is a fantastic game. It's on Game Pass. If you haven't played it, what are you waiting for? Forza Horizon 4, I am missing a couple of achievements. I think I'm missing 7 out of the 169. I have completed the base 1000. I've completed a lot of the DLC, including Fortune Island and the Lego. I've beaten the Eliminator. I've done a bunch of the title updates, but there are a couple of, I'll call them dumb achievements for doing like these weird seasonal events, and you have to do the Forzathons, whatever. I just haven't went back and paid enough attention to go for these. I think I'm about 5 or 6 hours away from getting all of these. If we look at the stats, I've played this game for like 130 hours. So yeah, I've had enough of that game for now. I play it in chunks here and there. Tetsumo Party, you don't really need to know much about this game. You know the game show where people try to go through the wall and they have to like manipulate their arms and legs to fit through the hole? They made an entire game about that and they called it Tetsumo Party. It's I have 1,000, but it's not an easy 1,000. I wouldn't recommend it if you're going for Gamerscore. I ended up playing it when I was bored. I started it, I think, last year, and then just completed it now on stream. And it's not great. It's quite hard, but it was fun for like an hour or two. It probably takes around 10 hours to complete, though. Then we have Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and I've played this game for like, it won't tell us, but like 10 hours, and I have 80 out of 1,000. This game is not very nice when it comes to awarding you with achievements in Gamerscore as you play it. So we're only at 80, but I've actually really enjoyed Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and I will for sure go back. Now, next up on the list, I have a couple of games that I just kind of used for testing. So I'm going to kind of skip over some of them more quickly than others. Some of them I'll talk about for a bit. But Ori and the Will of the Wisps, I actually never technically beat the game. And it was because the complete the game achievement was glitched for a very long time. So I specifically left Ori like right at the last checkpoint of the game. And I'm just going to go back and basically beat it. But yeah, I ended up loading it up because I needed to test some stuff. But Ori and the Will of the Wisps is a good game now. When I played it in March when it first came out, or even before it came out, it had a lot of bugs and glitches and things in it, but it has gotten updated for the Series X. It is like 6K if your TV can do that, or it'll sample down, which also makes the image look great. Colorful, great for testing out your frame rates. Ori and the Will of the Wisps was great. It just didn't really work very well when it originally came out. Now, the unsung hero of the year, in my opinion, is Gears Tactics. This game is fantastic. I loved every minute I played of it, and I've played about 25 hours of it. They recently put this game out on the console. I don't know how it plays with controller. I did play it on PC with a mouse and keyboard, and they did add a little bit of DLC, a title update. I think it's free with Jack. It's called the Jacked Up mode, and they added some Gamerscore for that as well. Gears Tactics, if you like tactics games, is really great, and I highly recommend it. I think it's unfortunate how many people skipped on this game for various reasons. If you have a PC, that is the best way to play it, though. If you only have an Xbox, I can see that the controller might get in the way a little bit. Another back-to-back unsung hero, Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now, I enjoyed this game a lot, and I will admit that one of the reasons I may have enjoyed this game is because I have the full flight setup. I have the pedals, I have the yoke, I have throttle control. All of those were sent to me very kindly by the people over at Xbox, which greatly impacted my gameplay and my enjoyment of the game. However, I did also test this game just using a controller. I tested it a little bit with mouse and keyboard, and it is a lot of fun. I learned so much about planes, and from a technical standpoint, this game is a marvel at what it does in terms of its graphics, in terms of the way it makes the world, in terms of the weather. There's a lot of innovation in this game that makes it very exciting for someone like me to play. I can't wait till more and more games adopt some of the technologies that were in this game. Then we have, sorry, I'm taking deep breaths because I'm just talking so much. I'm going to actually take a sip of a little bit of water here. Now, I played Apex Legends just again recently, but I've talked about it in depth in my last video, so I'm going to skip over it for now. There will be some games that I kind of skip over that I played last year or 2 years ago or 3 years ago. And then, you know, I replayed them so they get brought back into the list, but don't end up actually getting any Gamerscore or any achievements in them. Now, we have a little bit of a tradition during this video. And if you're watching and you've made it this far, I always thought these videos were super boring, but people loved them. So I've always made them out of habit. I like to go back and watch these videos myself too. But I wanted to test if people are actually watching through. So if you are watching and you have made it to this point, leave me a comment in the YouTube comments that just says boobies. And that will let me know that people have actually made it to this point in the video. While you're down there, you can drop a like if you want, subscribe if you want, that's totally up to you. State of Decay 2, I don't think I have anything to talk about. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, I don't think I have anything to talk about. I think I completed this game. Yeah, we talked about this game in depth in the last video. I've played it for like 1,000 hours, and it finally actually runs at a solid frame rate on the Xbox Series X. Who knew all it would take was 3 years of console innovation? Doom Eternal, I hate that this game has the word battle mode in it. The same criticism I have for Gears Tactics. It says Gears Tactics base game. My biggest pet peeve is when game companies don't put the right title in the game like icon on your gamer tag. It bothers me so much. Doom Eternal, I am missing a DLC achievement because I was just hopping from game to game to game to make videos. I just have to replay the entire DLC in Extra Life mode, which will probably take around 2-3 hours. And then we'd have that 90 gamer score. I'll maybe go back to this either on stream one day, or I'll go back to this once the second DLC for that game comes out. But the original 1000 is not too bad. You have to play through the campaign probably twice, and then you can boost a lot of the online achievements with a couple of buddies in a private lobby. I would say it takes around 25 hours, and it's probably one of the best games I've played this year, in my opinion. So that's just what I'm going to tell you. Portal's still alive. I booted it up for testing. Destiny 2. I don't know if I actually did do the Last Wish raid since the last time I made one of these videos. A couple of friends kind of helped me through it. To be honest, they pretty much carried me. But I love Destiny 2. I think the best part of all of the Destiny games are the raids. Getting raid ready is kind of fun. Playing the game in between raids is all right. But the pinnacle of gaming, in my opinion, is raids. When you're going in blind and figuring them out. They are just so fun and well made, and I think Destiny 2 has some of the best gunplay still to this day out of any game ever made. And I'm very excited for Destiny 2 to get enhanced or optimized for Series X. I think it's on December 8th. I'm actually going to go back and check it out, see how it runs in 4K 60. I got a chance to play 4K 60, like ultra settings of Destiny 2 on a PC, and it is one of the best looking games probably ever. People are always fight me on that, and that's fine, but that's my opinion. Destiny 2, one of the best looking games ever made. I said it here first. Gears 5. Gears 5, I played a bunch of it when it first came out last year, but then I went back to test it on my Series X in early November, and I just started unlocking some achievements. I started playing a couple different modes, going for achievements against bots, stuff like that. So I'm at 550. Ended up prestiging because I think there was like a triple XP event for Halloween as well. I'm at 550 out of 1910, which isn't great. They add achievements very often to this game, which if you are a Gears fan is great, but if you're someone like me who doesn't have the time to only play Gears 5 every day of the year, you pretty much are always chasing that 100% marker. Sunset Overdrive I loaded for testing. Red Dead 2 I loaded for testing. Rise Son of Rome I loaded for testing. Overwatch Origins Edition, I actually went back to this game to play it for Halloween. I find the Halloween events very fun. I always go back, not always, but I think I go back every year, and as you can see, I got a couple of these out of the way. I got a couple of the old, like last year's out of the way. Ended up completing Brigitte, the character. And I did a bunch of the new challenges that were related to Halloween. And I'm never going to get the 2,290 out of whatever. But I still enjoy going back every now and again, especially for events, just to pop a couple of achievements. Overwatch still feels great as a game to play. Watchdogs Legion, I'm at 105 out of 1,000. I started this on my 1X shortly after I got my review unit of my Series X. And then just after that, they actually disabled Watchdogs on the Series X as they were working on some of the ray tracing enhancements. So unfortunately, I kind of got locked out of the game and I moved on to some other stuff. And by the time they made it playable again, when the console came out to the general public, I ended up moving on to some other games, so I never got a chance to go back to Watchdogs Legion, but I do think I will. I got a lot of chances to play it before it came out, but I just got to sit down and play a couple of hours and get through that story a little bit. Five Nights at Freddy's 1 is an easy 1 hour completion on Game Pass. If you're playing on console, you can do that. I have you can just look up some videos for that if you want. I do have a video for Five Nights at Freddy's 2, which is a 20-minute completion, but only available on Xbox Game Pass for PC. So you will need a PC for that. Another game that you're probably familiar with is The Language of Love. 1,000 Gamerscore in 3 minutes. If you want, I have a video about it, but you don't really need a video. You just load the game up, make it go on ultra fast skip mode, and then just skip through it. Halo, the Master Chief Collection, I'll never get 100%. People always ask me if I'm ever going to go for it. The answer is no. I'll just be honest. This game takes just way too long. I'm at 14 days, which is like 300 hours or so. And I'm only at 4,000. I'm missing most of the hard stuff. I do have some of the hard stuff done. Like I have the lasso achievements. Not that I earned them like necessarily legitimately. I had a friend kind of carry me through some stuff. But I went back. I played a little bit of Halo Reach at the end of last year. Ended up grabbing a couple of achievements here and there. I actually never beat the campaign for Reach. I ended up just level selecting all of the levels I needed to film for videos. I have I have all, oh, sorry, let me go back here. I have like all of the datapad collectibles. I missed it. Where'd it go? Somewhere down here. Like I have all of the datapad collectibles from every level, but I literally don't have the achievements for like complete the level. I would film videos, get achievements, get collectibles, and then I would just quit out of the level right away. So I'm missing a lot of really easy stuff like the campaign for ODST and Reach, but I'm also missing a lot of really hard stuff as well. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, probably the hardest completion on my gamertag from the last 100,000. This took forever. The reaching career level 100, you have to idle for like 100 hours at minimum, if not longer, to get to career level 100. The only good thing about this is when I did this was like very impossible, took forever, but there was recently an update to Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 that added a couple more career challenges, and I haven't personally went back, but I did talk to someone who went back to look at them, and they said that the new challenges actually did make it significantly faster. And by significantly faster, I mean like it went from 100 hours to like 70 hours. But they did add enough challenges that grant enough XP that leveling up is a little bit easier with these new challenges. But that takes forever. Not only that, you have to get all the gaps, which is a pain in the butt. But in my opinion, the hardest achievement in the game is the Get Theirs. 0.27 is actually pretty high. I didn't think it would ever get that high, but these are very tough. I have a video guide for these, and these took me like 20 hours on their own. But Tony Hawk Pro Skater, one of my favorite series of all time, if not the favorite series of mine of all time. I mean, Halo is probably number one, but Tony Hawk is definitely in the top 5 for me personally. And, you know, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5 was abysmal. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater HD in 2012 was also not great, but it was all right. This game is incredible. I am so happy they made it. I'm so happy to hear that a lot of people bought it and a lot of people liked it. And I am very optimistic that there will be a Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 coming out, hopefully in the next year or two. After we get out of that, we have Call of Duty Modern Warfare. This is the 1050 out of 1050, which I already had done last year when I made this video. It's just I played a little bit of Warzone here and there, so that's why it's up here. Halo 5, I like to go back and play with my friends just online, but I don't think I'm ever going to care enough to go back for the completion. Hyperscape. You'll tell that I like a lot of Battle Royale games as we go through this list. PUBG was on there, Warzone was on there, and now Hyperscape was on there. Hyperscape had an incredible amount of promise and potential, and unfortunately, it just kind of died on us. No one really cares about this game, and no one really plays it. As you can see, I was actually one of the... There's a couple of really cool achievements in here. I'll start by saying that. One of them, it's a Battle Royale game, and you have to play a solo game, and you have to win the game without killing anyone. In this game, you can win by capturing the crown. It's kind of like a little item on the map, and then if you survive with that item for 45 seconds while everyone else on the map is marked to your location, you can win that way. I think I was like the 3rd or 4th person on TA to grab this achievement, and my goal was actually to be the first person in the world to complete this game, at least on TA. That's really the only way we can check trueachievements.com again. Put my gamertag as your referral if you sign up. But unfortunately, there were a lot of connection errors when the game first came out, and therefore me and my friends couldn't play together, so therefore we couldn't get 10 wins. By the time the patch finally came out and we were able to squad up, we got our 10 wins in like one night, but would have been nice to go for first in the world. Unfortunately, that will never happen. I did go back pretty recently to check out how this game was doing, and I honestly didn't have fun. It felt really slow. It felt clunky. They have some weird controller, like the aim assist just feels off. Something about it felt off. It was really fun while it lasted. It is completely free to play. It says I played it for 27 minutes, which is a lie. I've played it for like maybe 6 or 7 hours. I played like 40 to 50 hours on PC when this game was in beta, which is what had me so excited for it to come to Xbox. but it just, the flame dwindled very quickly on Hyperscape, which is, you know, unfortunate, but whatnot. Next up, we have a game that I could probably talk about for literally, I could talk about this one game and spin-off topics for like an hour. Castle of No Escape 2. I have 1,000 gamer score. You may notice that it has 2,000 gamer score, and that is because the dev that made this game, as well as, or the publisher that made this game or published this game, as well as all of their other games, has been going back and retroactively adding title updates to their games to make them easy 2,000 gamer score games, and also discounting the games greatly. I'm not going to get too into depth about my stance on the state of achievements, as I don't want to have people misunderstand my stance if I just say one or two sentences about it. But I am not particularly a fan of this practice. I believe that it is manipulating the Gamerscore currency. I believe that it is problematic for the future of achievements in Gamerscore. But for now, we'll keep it at that. There are a couple of things that this game does that I don't like that makes it easy, but that some other games that are easy also do, but I am okay with. Again, I could talk about achievements for literal hours, but Castle of No Escape, it's 2,000 gamer score. They're adding title updates to all their games to make them easy. I may eventually do these games. I may not. I still haven't decided. But for those who want to see their gamer score number go as high as possible, this is definitely a good way to do that. Although I don't maybe personally stand 100% behind these practices. Again, I could talk about it for hours, so you know, don't make assumptions based on what I said here for the last 1 minute. I'll make a video in December talking about the state of achievements and where I see Gamerscore going in the future. Crash Bandicoot 4, it's about time. This is a fantastic game, an incredibly hard 1,000. I really enjoyed making my video guides for this game. I did actually at one point think I would get 1,000 gamer score in this game, but this game actually has so much more content than I realized when I first played it. There are like 100 levels. There are 40 levels. You can play 40 levels reversed. You can play like 20 of the bonus levels. There's so much content in this game, and I realized that there was an achievement for getting all of the platinum time trials, and I just don't think I may be good enough to get this, but when I tried, they all seemed impossible to me, so I kind of just gave up and moved on to the next game. I ran out of time. I thought I could beat this game in like 3 or 4 days. It ended up taking me like 6 or 7 days. So by the time I was finished it, I had something else to play. Marvel's Avengers. Oh boy, this game was incredibly broken when it first came out. We're probably going to speed things up a little bit, or else this video is going to be like 2 hours, by the way. But there will be a lot of games that I kind of skip over anyways. A lot of these games at the top are like good, cool games that you probably should play. And a lot of the games at the bottom are kind of like bad gamer score, shitty games you probably shouldn't play. Marvel's Avengers is a bad, shitty game, but it's not a gamer score game. This game was completely broken achievement-wise when it first came out. Almost none of the achievements with tracking worked at all. Achievements like complete the campaign didn't work. The online stuff was all over the place. I have 300 out of 1,000. I haven't beaten the story. If I did beat the story, I'd have like maybe 500 out of 1,000. And I am not a superhero guy. I know, crucify me in the comments. I just don't care about the Avengers. I don't really care about superheroes. It's cool if you do, if you like them, if you enjoy them. Hell yeah, I'm happy for you. I just don't get excited about superheroes. I played the game to see if there were, you know, videos worth making, and I realized that it's like a Destiny game if the Destiny game was just not as good. But I'm not sure. Next up, we have Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Campaign Remastered, one of the longest video game titles maybe in history. I don't have the 1,000. I actually am pretty close to the 1,000. I've completed the game on veteran using the veteran glitch. I have a video about that if you want to check it out. I don't have much left. I have to replay a couple of missions without dying in order to get the Immortal achievement, which is probably the rarest and hardest one. Keeping track of which ones you've done and which ones you haven't done is probably the hardest part of that. And then there's a couple of like really easy things, level specific things that I could mop up. I probably have less than 2 hours left to get 1,000 in this game. I just I've been playing it slowly here and there. Like I started off in April, then I played a bunch in like August, then a bunch in September. So I just got to go back and figure that out. Tell me why 1450 out of 1500. I played the last episode like literally 10 times to figure out all of the endings and how to get all the collectibles and make all the video guides I've made. I've made a bunch of videos for this, so you can easily complete it if you want to. But by the time I played it like 10 times and figured out how to get this achievement, I just didn't feel like playing the game anymore. I played it more than enough. In my opinion, I should have the completion based on how long and how many times I've played it. But I do have to go back and replay episode 2 and 3 to make some bad decisions so I can get the bad ending. Even the Ocean, this is a game that I think is like a 10-minute completion. I remember literally nothing about it. So that's a pretty good indication that it's easy gamer score if I don't even remember playing it. Ultra Hat Dimension, one of the worst games I've probably played all year. I could have probably made this game with my high school programming class in 3 or 4 days flat. You have to complete 45 levels. It'll take you, I think, around half an hour to an hour. It's super easy. You can follow a guide, but it's also an awful game, and there are better ways to spend your money unless you really like Gamerscore. If you do like Gamerscore, you probably already played this, or you're going to play it after hearing this. Up to you, but there you go. The Jackbox Party Pack 4. I just enjoy playing Jackbox Party Pack games for the actual game part of it. I don't really go for achievements too much in these. I believe I had a couple people over when there was that awkward phase when, you know, Corona was okay. And you were allowed to have visitors, at least in Canada. And then there were, you know, now we're back kind of in lockdowns. I follow all the rules. I wear my mask. Don't worry. But we had one friend over and played a little bit of Jackbox Party Pack with them. It was a good time. Probably grabbed a couple of achievements, maybe none at all, 1 or 2. And that was that. Trivia Murder Party is the best one, by the way, in my opinion. Airy Broken Memories. You're a bird. You fly around. You literally just grab collectibles. It is like Collectibles the game. There's some chill music. It's one of those games you could probably play while like watching a movie. If you like multitasking while you're going for Gamerscore, this is probably a pretty good game to do that. Zero Stain. Let me see if I can remember what game this is. I think I did this one. Okay, so this is the end of August we are at. At the end of August, I did a stream where I did like 6,000 Gamerscore all at once. Oh, look, all my achievements went to 0 out of 1,000. I really hope... Oh, no, you are watching the glitch happen live, ladies and gentlemen. There's a glitch where sometimes your achievements just all go to 0 out of 1,000, but sometimes they stay that way forever. So luckily we avoided that one. Zero Strain. I don't remember. Yeah, okay. There was a there was a stream where I did like 6 or 7 games all at once, and I believe Zero Strain was one of them. If I'm not mistaken, this is a game where you fly around like a little ship. It's kind of a twin stick shooter. Out of all the easy Gamerscore games I've played, I remember this one sticking out as like slightly better than average. So if you're looking for not poo-poo games, this one is probably decent. Don't Starve Giant Edition, 1,000 Gamerscore, Xbox Game Pass for PC in 10 minutes. Follow my video if you want. This uses console commands. And surprisingly, if you want to know a little bit more of a hint as to my Gamerscore stance, I am actually totally okay with games like Don't Starve Giant Edition being easy completions. It's when games are specifically designed from the ground up to be easy Gamerscore. That's usually when I personally have a problem. Next up, we have Rogue Company, a really cool free, I believe it's free. I think I might have paid $20 to get like the starter pack edition, but I think you can play this game for free. I have 1,000 gamer score. I believe it has stat tracking, so I've played it for about 40 hours. You have to win 100 games. You have to play 25 hours with your friends. And then all the other stuff's pretty easy. You got to win a game with like every character and stuff like that. Rogue Company was pretty fun. It's a pretty good game on console, and it's free. It's not easy gamer score. It takes like 40 hours. It's not hard, but it does take a while. Going back to that easy gamer score stream I did where I did like 6 games, Rogue Cube, I believe, was one of them. I don't even remember. Rogue Cube was actually one of the slightly better easy gamer score games I've done this year. I believe it's like a twin stick rogue-like shooter that actually does involve a little bit of skill. Hard Cube is like Marble Blast Ultra. If Marble Blast Ultra was made by someone who is just learning how to design games, look, it's not a great game. I'd probably give it like a 4 out of 10, maybe, on if I was feeling generous. Probably a 3 out of 10 if I was being realistic. I love Marble Blast Ultra games, so anytime I see that there's a marble rolling around, I get so excited to play it. Unfortunately, no game other than maybe Marble It Up on the Switch has come close to being a decent replacement for Marble Blast Ultra. Marble Blast Ultra, I believe something happened with the license. We will never get a new Marble Blast Ultra, but if someone could figure out a way to make a game that is just as good, that would be incredible. Mr. Masagi Mayo Edition. This is an incredible game to play if you have a turbo controller. It's a 1 to 2 hour completion. There are 2 games in one. One of the games is My Name is Mayo. You may have heard of that game on the PlayStation. Came out many years ago and it was one of the easiest completions of all time. At the beginning of the console generation, at this point, the PlayStation has just as many issues with their platinum trophies as, in my opinion, Xbox has with easy completions. So it is no longer easy, and if you're going for 1,000, this one's not going to be easier than some of the other games you could play lower down in the list. Tacheko in the Castle of Lucio. Easy gamer score, takes, I think, like 30 minutes to an hour. But it does involve like a very specific way to play it. You have to do like an invincibility glitch. You have to do some level skips to make it, easy. Nicole is an easy game that I just couldn't figure out. I thought I could get 1,000 in this game without a guide. I was very, very wrong. I should go back and beat it. 112th Seed, easy game. Don't even remember playing it, so it must be easy. I think it was like 30 minutes, but who knows. Selma and the Wisp. This game is like Ori if Ori was bad. There you go. Just say The First Case HD. I believe this is a Japanese visual novel game about a murder mystery. I believe it takes around 30 minutes if I'm not mistaken, but I may be wrong. Radio Squid, another easy 1,000. I believe this one took around 20 minutes. Did it on stream. Don't have much to say about it. It's like the most typical easy gamer score game you could imagine. It has 8-bit graphics. The only redeeming quality about the game is that it has decent music, and everything else about it is extremely average or below average. Stone is a 1 to 2 hour game. It's like The Wolf Among Us. It's kind of like a visual novel style storytelling game. Pretty easy to get all the gamer score in. Not particularly great, but not particularly awful either. A Summer with the Shiba Inu. This one, or Shiba Inu? I think the B is pronounced like a V. I'm not 100% sure. But 1,000 gamer score, 100%. I think it takes around 20 to 30 minutes. Visual novel game. You will need a guide, but it isn't hard at all. Robo Zaro. Don't remember anything about this game, so it must be easy. Clash Force. Don't remember anything about this game, so it must be easy. Pity Pit. Don't remember anything about this game, so it must be easy. Don't worry, I will go back after this video and refresh my memory about these games. I will have to do a lot of research to get my easiest games of 2020 video figured out. I honestly, if you have an idea of what I should do for that video that's kind of different from what I usually do, let me know in the comments down below. At this point, I have a list of like the easiest 50 games that I've generated personally based on some like research and some numbers I've crunched. And there are so many games that are basically the exact same amount of easy. I have no idea how to rank them. So I might just do like an alphabetical top 50 easiest games. I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet, but There are an absurd amount of easy games this year. I think there will be 100 games that are under an hour in 2020. Trials Rising is a fantastic game, which I talked about in depth in my last video. Tracks, the train set game. I believe this game had a DLC added. I believe this game was one of the easiest games in Game Pass, but the unfortunate part is that it was recently taken out of Game Pass, and that is why it is no longer an easy recommendation. A Plague Tale Innocence was another game that I was going to get the 1000 in. I only have about maybe 2 hours left. I have 3 really easy level-specific achievements left over. I just need to go back, make some time, and get this off of my backlog. F1 2020. Every couple of years, I play an F1 game for 10 to 20 hours, and then I've had enough F1 games for the next few years. This one is pretty good. I love racing games, which is why I always go back to these. I do have a couple of easy things left to do, but a couple of really hard things left to do, beat the whole career on whatever. I think you have to beat it on hard difficulty or something. So I don't remember exactly, but I won't go back and get the 1000, but I might go back and play a couple more races. Superliminal was a game that I was so excited about, and then I played it and it was good. It reminded me of Portal and the Turing Test, those kind of games. What was it called? Numa, A Breath of Life. It also reminded me of that game. It just didn't flow as well as I would have liked it to. I really wanted to make a video guide for it, but there's also speedrunning achievements at the bottom where you have to beat the game in under 30 minutes, which is very difficult, actually. You need to be really fast at the game to do that. And I don't know, I just kind of lost interest and I moved on to F1. And then after I played F1 for a little, I took a week off in the summer to kind of regenerate some energy, and that's what happened. Deep Rock Galactic is an absolutely fantastic game that I would highly recommend. It is in Game Pass, and if you are going to play it, make sure you play it with a party of 4. It is the perfect co-op game. I think I've played it for close to maybe 15 or 20 hours. Okay, it says 11, but I played it when it was in game preview before it had achievements and before the time played tracked. And it is a very, very, very difficult achievement list, but very rewarding if you can go and play some of the harder levels, do some of the raids and whatever. It's like a first-person mining game with RPG elements, and it's also a shooter. I don't know, pretty cool. Endless Legend, Xbox Game Pass for PC in about 5 minutes. Taco-Tan, this is a very interesting game. I could talk about it for 10 minutes, but I'll spare you the details. This game came out and it was called Octo something. I forget. But the name of the game was actually already someone else's property. So they had to delist the game. So only a couple of people were able to complete it before it got delisted. I was one of those people. But eventually what they did was they just changed the name from Octo something to Taco-Tan. I think taco means octopus in Japanese, if my sushi trivia serves me well. And so they renamed it and they re-released it, and you can now get 1000 again in the game if you want. Minecraft Dungeons, I have the original 1000. They added some DLC levels and some DLC achievements. I'll go back and I will finish them. I just don't know when. SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. I have 1 achievement worth 10 Gamerscore. Hell yeah, go me. Unfortunately, this game has a lot of glitches. It will randomly erase your save, and I had some plans to cover it, but then when I started playing it, I kind of realized the structure of the game doesn't necessarily particularly lend itself well to the idea of video guides. Thunderpaw, don't remember anything about this game, so it must be easy Gamerscore. I think this game takes 15 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I played it on stream, and I have a stream highlight. By the way, for a lot of these games, the easy ones, I play them on stream, and then I create stream highlights of those games. So you can go to twitch.tv/Maka91 Productions, go to my highlights, and you can see me play these games from start to finish until I finish them if you want. Concept Destruction, Easy 1000. I think it takes about an hour or less, and it is like a racing destruction derby style game. Although if you're going for most of the achievements, I think you just beat the campaign once and then you just grind specific levels for other stuff. Chop is Dish is a side-scrolling game where you play a chef. That's about all you need to know. I think it takes about an hour. Castle Pals, don't remember too much about this game. I believe it's in the 20-minute range, and it is an easy 1000. Then we have Many Faces Console Edition, an easy 1000. I think this game took me like 12 minutes, but it is a little bit skill-based, so it could take you between 10 minutes and maybe 20 minutes, depending on how lucky you get with weapon spawns and stuff like that. Horror of the Deep. This game was okay at the beginning, but the last level is so poorly designed, it will completely ruin the experience of the rest of the game for you. I promise. It's an easy 1000. Still, you could probably do it in an hour. If you get unlucky, it might take you around 2 hours, or you'll quit on the last level like many people do and just settle for 800 out of 1000. It's a horror game where you basically go through some mazes and you just try to figure out like how to open the door at the end of the level. There are some creepy bad guys that will also sneak up on you if you're not careful. Doug Hates His Job, 1000 out of 1000. I think this game takes like 30 minutes. It's not particularly great, but you can get it done if you want to. Strawberry Vinegar, one of the easiest completions so far of this year. It takes 6 to 7 minutes. I have a guide on the channel if you'd like to use it. It is a visual novel, and you can get it done very quickly. A Fold Apart. This game's actually really great. I think it is not getting enough attention. It is a puzzly game that takes around 3 hours, maybe 4 hours, maybe 2 hours if you use a guide. You can actually skip through all of the puzzles too. So if you are stuck or if you just want to get this game done as quickly as possible, you can literally just press skip on every puzzle and it will just play through on its own, basically. But it's a really cool game about a couple that's like long distance and they kind of fall in and out of love. It's actually a pretty cute story too. Bullet Beat is another one of those games that was a really easy 1000, and they updated it with 2000 Gamerscore now, and you can basically go back and all of the title update achievements are like so stupidly easy. They take literally 2 minutes to get some of these, mostly all of them. So if you want to go back and get your 2000 Gamerscore, you can. Bullet Beat. Golf with Your Friends. Oh, Golf with Your Friends got DLC. I did not even know that. I got the original 1000 out of 1000, so if you're on trueachievements.com, you'll know that this is somewhat of a rare completion, but that is mostly due to the fact that this game is in Game Pass. When games are in Game Pass, a lot of people will try the game without the intention of beating it, so it kind of brings all the numbers up, makes it more rare than it actually is. This game is not that easy to get the 1000 in. It was quite rewarding and really fun. I like mini golf games. I haven't played one in forever. I think the last one I played was like 3D Golf Adventure on Xbox 360. And just like I like my marble games, I like my golf games. Let's see what the DLC is. Play on Volcano, get par or better on Volcano, get par or better on Escapists, get par or better on Deep Classic. I don't know if these are free or if I have to pay for these, but I will probably go back and grab these. I really enjoy some Golf with Your Friends. You can also stack Golf with Your Friends on Windows 10 PC. Task Force Campus, one of the most meaningless names for a game I have ever. I don't know what that means. Maybe you do. I guess the task force is called Campus. Easy 1000 Gamerscore. I think it takes 20 minutes. If you want, go for it. Telling Lies, 1000 to 1000 Gamerscore. I have a full game walkthrough for this game. It takes around an hour, and it is actually a really great game if you want to just play it and enjoy it on your own and then mop up at the end. Sinker is a pretty cool puzzle game where you use like these hooks and these lines, and you got to plan your way through the level so that, you know, everything matches perfectly. You have to actually beat the whole game, so great achievement list. Even if it's easy, if you have to beat the whole game, I think that's all right. So in this game, you do have to beat the whole game, which is about an hour or two, I think. Maybe 3 hours if you get a little stuck. Gun Crazy, I think, was the easiest game at the halfway point of the year. I beat this game in 6 or 7 minutes. You can die on the second level, which you'd have to kind of restart, so it could take you like 10 to 20 minutes, but it's really, really easy. Rush Rover, 20-minute completion. Easy gamer score. It is a top-down, like, roguelite style game. No Drifter is a twin-stick shooter that takes about 25 minutes. Easy gamer score if you like twin-stick shooters. This one, it was all right. It wasn't particularly good. It's definitely not on the level of, like, Geometry Wars, for example. Red Death is a shoot 'em, a vertical. What is that? What is the style of game called? It's a vertical bullet hell shooting game. You're a ship at the bottom of the screen, and you shoot upwards. Is it a shoot 'em up? I guess it's called a shoot 'em up because you're shooting up, right? 20 minutes, I think, for the 1,000. But the shoot 'em up games involve a little bit of skill. I just like to say that because you know, if you're not great at games, that's fine. But you probably don't want to grab this one and struggle with it. There are some easier games you could do instead. NoblestSteed easy gamer score in 1 hour. Game Pass for PC. It is only available on PC though. Blind Men is a visual novel game that will take you around 10 minutes or less following a guide. Duck Souls Plus. I don't even remember this game, so it must be easy. Super Destronaut Land Wars, 1000 out of 1000. This is like the weirdest series ever. Super Destronaut was like a Galaga Space Invaders game, and then they released the second one, which is Super Destronaut Land Wars, and it's a first-person shooter. So that's like the biggest glow up of all time. This game actually wasn't too bad. I think it takes around half an hour, and you can get that done if you want. Surviving Mars, 1500 out of 1500. This is probably one of the most popular easy gamer score games of the year. If you have been paying attention to the channel, you can get your 1000 in this game in like 5 to 10 minutes. Just make sure you watch the video and then go down to the video comments to see what the most recent names for all of the mods are that you'll need. Subnautica, 1000 or 1000 in about... Sorry, I got a hiccup. Let me take a quick drink of water. I'm inhaling a lot of air as I'm talking. Subnautica. You can get 1000 in about 30 minutes to an hour. Not a bad game. Not a great game, the way I played it at least, which was using console commands and admin commands to just skip around the world and whatever. I think a lot of people do actually enjoy this game for what it is. I just wouldn't know how that experience is like. You can grab the 1000 in with a guide if you want. Rocket League, I think I just went back to enjoy it. I don't think I unlocked any achievements, but let us check. No, I have not. Next up, I have Hotline Miami Collection. I was so excited to play this game, and then I started playing it. I got a couple of achievements. I had to leave because I had like a little bit of an emergency, and then I just literally never played it again, and now it's on my gamer tag with 2%. I will go back. I promise I'll go back, and I'll at least beat the campaigns for both of the games. Surviving Mars is on here twice because one of these is the PC version, one of these is the Xbox version. You can double stack up. Doom 64, easy completion in under an hour following a video guide available on my channel. It's Doom, the original Doom you would have known, but the N64 version, which has a couple of differences, a couple of different levels, a couple of different guns and whatnot. So there you go. I think this was where they introduced the Unmaker weapon. Snaky Bus. Snaky Bus was really fun to get the completion in. One of those easy gamerscore games where I look back and I go, hey, I remember that game. That game was pretty fun. The achievements were easy but fair and reasonable, and I enjoyed myself. I think this one took me 45 minutes. I think most people say it takes around the hour mark. So you could end up, you know, around the 40-minute mark like me or around the hour-and-a-half mark. It kind of really depends on how lucky you get with the one skill-based achievement. Resident Evil 3. I had big plans to cover this game, but I ended up, unfortunately, having a life thing that kind of got in the way. So I only played like the first 5 minutes of the game. I also heard this game wasn't that great. So that's an interesting thing, since Resident Evil 2 remake was my favorite game of last year. But I'll go back to Resident Evil 3. It's in my backlog, somewhere near the top. Bleeding Edge was an interesting game, online only. Actually, my last achievement was for doing the tutorials. I kind of like doing that occasionally when I can. I like to keep the easiest achievement for last, but it doesn't happen too often, maybe a couple times a year. So I did the tutorial last, which was kind of fun, and just grabbed all the achievements with a couple buddies. I would definitely recommend, if you are playing this game, you can get it done in under 10 hours. You can get it done a lot faster if you are playing with a full stack of friends who are all communicating and talking and working together. Syrup in the Ultimate Suite, easy gamer score. I think it takes like 15 minutes or so. It's a visual novel game. Ark Survival Evolved, 1500 out of 1500. You can get 1000 in this game in about an hour and a half. It's also part of Xbox Game Pass. You will need a video guide, which is available on my channel. Oh my God, did my computer just go to sleep? I really hope we're still recording. Cool. Next up, we have Sayonara Wild Hearts, one of the best games I have played in the last 5 years. It takes around 6 hours to complete, and this game is at the very pinnacle of my recommendations. If I've ever recommended you a game and I did a good job, this is where I'm standing out on the ledge and letting you push me if I'm wrong. Sayonara Wild Hearts is an incredible game. I've recommended it to hundreds of people, and every time I've recommended it to someone, like personally in a one-on-one situation, they have always come back to me and said, wow, that game was something special. That was unique. That was fun. That was great. That was something I will remember. It is a fantastic game, and if you get a chance to play it, play it. The actual game itself is like literally an hour long, and it is like 10 to 20 bucks depending on if it's on sale. So that is a little bit of a hard sell, but I've always pushed quality over quantity, and Sayonara Wild Hearts is the top of the quality food chain. Geometry Wars 3. Now, the reason I have an achievement in this game recently is because I got a turbo controller, which basically is just a controller that pushes buttons for you. It can just kind of push the same button over and over. And I was able to grab this Gatherer achievement with that turbo controller. So that's why you see that there. Never Alone. After like a 6-year break, let's see, after a 5-year break, I finally went back and completed the DLC in this to get back to the full completion. Cuisine Royale, another battle royale game, 1000 out of 1000. This game is actually very tough to get 1000 gamer score in for a lot of different reasons. First off, you do have to play the game for 100 hours, which is long, but definitely not hard. You can definitely just sit there and, you know, let the game play, whatever. That's not whatever. You do have to get stuff like 4 headshots, and they have to actually be headshot kills, not headshot downs. Same thing with, you have to get like a quad kill, like a multi-kill, 4 kills at once, which in a battle royale game you can assume is a pretty hard, but this game does have some bots here and there. You will probably, to get 4 kills at the same time, you will probably have to play in squads though. Some grenade kills, some, you know, get kills with different weapons. Win 3 games in a row, which it's a battle royale game. You know, you can get screwed over by the circle, you can get bad weapons, you can land in a particularly busy zone, and there's a lot of different ways to die, so getting 3 wins in a row is kind of, you know, a little bit difficult. But the hardest one of all of these is the Hoarder achievement. Sorry, one sec. My apologies. For Hoarder, the way Cuisine Royale works, it's like PUBG, but there are these fridges, and you open the fridges to get food-related items. And there are 4 rarities of fridge. Regular fridges, you'll find a couple every game. Premium fridges are a little bit more rare. You'll find like 1 per game usually. Then there's these tactical fridges that are very rare. You'll find maybe 1 in every 10 games. And then there are these Royale freezers, which are exceptionally rare. You'll find like 1 in every 15 games or so, at least from my experience. To get the Hoarder achievement, you need to get 1 of every fridge in 1 game, and you have to pick up every item from the fridge. So if you're playing in squads, only 1 person in your entire group can get this per game. You cannot all get it at the same time. And if you're playing solos, sometimes you'll find a fridge that someone else has opened and left some items on the ground, so it doesn't count. This achievement alone took me like 15 hours of just nonstop looking for fridges until I finally got a match where I had all of the fridges. You also can sometimes get like 3 fridges and then you die because it's a battle royale game and people are out looking to kill you. And if you're not looking for loot, you probably don't have any good weapons. If you don't have any good weapons, you're really easy to kill, which makes it even harder. Anyways, Cuisine Royale is a really cool completion I'm pretty proud of. It's not like hard, but it is, you need to be dedicated to get it, I think. Lake Ridden is a 1 to 2 hour walking simulator style game. The Sims 4 had a couple of methods that made it really easy. I think it took me like 2.5 hours earlier this year. So you can do that if you want. Vanquish, a criminally underrated game that I would highly recommend. This is the 10-year anniversary collection edition that came out with Bayonetta. It is known to be, or at least was known to be, one of the hardest completions on the Xbox 360. I didn't think it was that hard. You have to beat the game on the hardest difficulty. You have to beat the game without dying. And I think the hardest one is to complete all of the tactical challenges. Tactical Challenge 6 is quite difficult. It took me like 5 or 6 hours of, getting all the methods down and figuring it all out. But once I figured it out, it wasn't that impossible, in my opinion. It was exceptionally rewarding. I felt very accomplished when I got it, which by definition of the word achievement is kind of the feeling we're looking for. After Vanquish, hopefully we actually go back to where we were. We have Ailment. This game is awful. You want to know how you know it's awful? It's a port of a phone game for the iPhone. It controls poorly. The controls don't work. It is full of glitches, and I decided to play it for easy gamer score. I think it took me like 45 minutes. Hyperdot after that. Hyperdot is on Game Pass for PC. I wouldn't call it an easy completion, but you can definitely get it done in under 6 hours. It is a game where you move around. It's like the floor is lava style game. You are like this little dot on this map, and all these enemies spawn, and you just have to swim and avoid them. Really great achievement list, really cool dev. This game's nominated for a couple of awards at the Game Awards, actually, which is pretty cool. Super happy that this game looks to be doing well. A lot of people are enjoying it on Game Pass. So if you do get a chance to play it, I'd recommend it, but that's up to you. Riverbond, this game, I started playing it in January because I got a laptop. This was back when we were allowed to travel, by the way. I remember the good old times. I had a laptop, and I wanted to see what it was like to unlock achievements at the airport, unlock achievements on an airplane, unlock achievements at the hotel. So Xbox Game Pass for PC came out. Riverbond was a part of it, and I wanted to grab achievements on the go. So that's what I was doing. I thought I would get the 1,000, but ended up being really busy. I do want to really go back to this and grab all the achievements. I just don't know if I will. Far Out. This game is just weird. It's a first-person game where you are stuck on a spaceship, and you have to repair it to save yourself. And there are a lot of different ways you can win in the game, and you have to do all of the different ones. I think one of them is really glitchy, which is why a lot of people don't go for it. I believe the glitchy one is this one, Lucky Zach. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's supposed to be an hour to 2 hours, but it took me maybe closer to 3 just because of how many issues I had. Uh-oh, we have to restart the whole list, don't we? I apologize. What do you guys think of them potentially changing this, what is it called? Tab to the game activity tab instead of the achievements tab? I like that next achievements and recent achievements are here, by the way. Gamerscore leaderboard and Game Pass quest, cool too. Sorry for that giant tangent. My brain's kind of all over the place today, man. I don't know what it is. Almost don't feel like myself. I feel like a better version of myself. Not really. Invert. I guess talking to yourself for an hour about achievements will do that to you, right? Anyways, Invert, easy gamer score. Don't remember too much about it because it was almost a full year since I played it. I think it's about 45 minutes if I remember correctly. But yeah, Project Starship is a shoot 'em up bullet hell game. Super easy. I talked a little bit about Task Force Campus. This game and that game, there's this one dev. I don't even know. I don't remember exactly what they're called. Let me see if I can find out in the welcome screen. I cannot. Let me find out for you anyways, because I wanna make sure I have it right. So East Asia Soft makes a lot of different games, but they have 3 or 4 games that are these bullet hell shoot 'em up games that are literally the same game, but just with a different graphical overhaul. So yeah, you can do all of their, if you can do one of their shoot 'em up games, you can do all of their shoot 'em up games. They're pretty much all the same game. Read Remastered, easy Gamerscore. I think it takes about an hour. You will probably need a guide though. Red Bow, I think it takes about an hour and a half. Pretty easy. You probably will need a guide though. Zombie Army 4, I have the original 1000 out of 1000. They seem to have added a couple of DLC achievements. I might go back and grab them. I haven't really decided. I mostly played this game just to enjoy it a little bit. I streamed a little bit, and I made a collectibles guide for it, which is why it's up here. 0000, which is a easy Gamerscore game in under an hour, but it does involve a little bit of skill. I watched the gameplay, and it reminded me of that game called N++, and I thought I would really enjoy it, but then I started playing this game, and I really did not have a good time. I don't know if it was the controls, which I didn't enjoy, or if it was just the style of the game. Every time you play a level, it's kind of a random level, so you don't really learn the levels. You just kind of play random levels until you beat them. I didn't really enjoy it. The Mosaic, this game is so interesting. This is a really cool, like 3-hour-long game with a really cool story and all this other stuff. And all of the achievements don't have anything to do with the game. In the game, you have a cell phone. You can open that cell phone, and on that cell phone, you can play a mini game where you just literally tap the screen, and every single achievement is related to that phone mini game inside of the game. The reason I played this game was because I bought a turbo controller, as I mentioned earlier. And in terms of turbo controllers, this is the best game to play for turbo controllers, because all you do, oh, we got the 0 to 1000 glitch again. Very cool. All you do is just press the button over and over and over and over again, like literally 50,000 times. So a turbo controller can pretty much do all of the hard work for you, which is why I tried Mosaic. Also, you know, turbo controllers as an idea are also very controversial in the Gamerscore areas. So that's a topic for another, you know, another discussion as well. Music Racer, you can also turbo if you want. You don't have to. I think it's like a 6-hour to 8-hour completion. Pretty cool game. I actually kind of enjoyed it, although it wasn't great. There are better music games out there. Milo's Quest Console Edition, don't remember anything about this. Descenders, I loaded it up for like testing. Without Escape, a very interesting game. It's like a point-and-click adventure horror game. Takes under an hour, but it also almost broke my capture card of my computer because of some weird issues it has with the way it transfers signals to your screen. I don't know. It's a long story, but it almost tanked my capture card. My capture card, which is like $300. So never going to play that game again. Killer Instinct. I think I went back and just started grabbing some random achievements. I like going back to Killer Instinct every once in a while. Also, you can do some turbo controller stuff with this game. So that's probably what I was testing. I grabbed like 100 Gamerscore in it because I was bored. I do have the original 1000, but I won't ever get the 4,935. Gotta love really random numbers. Rememory doesn't matter. Battlefield 1943, this game doesn't really matter. I went back because I thought there was a chance that I would be able to finish off my last achievement, because they actually turned the servers for this game back on for the first time in a couple of years. But they turned on the servers, the achievements worked, and then they turned off the leaderboards, and then the leaderboards made the achievements not work. So you can still play this game online, but because there are no leaderboards, you can't get the last achievement, or the achievements for getting wins. Murder Miners, this game is, it's like Roblox meets Halo, but like not good. It wasn't fantastic, but it actually wasn't the worst game I've ever played. Easy Gamerscore if you have a group of people to boost with and play with. Otherwise, it's not very easy. Can Androids Pray Blue? This game takes 15 minutes or less. One of the easiest games of last year, I want to say. And I do have a guide available on the channel if you want. Attack of the Toy Tanks. You play a toy tank and you attack stuff. Very cool. Airy Little Bird Adventure. This is the same as that other Airy game that we played. You play a bird, you fly around, and you collect little orbs in the sky until you complete the level. Mushroom Quest. This game isn't good. Don't play it. Where the Bees Make Honey. This game isn't good. Don't play it. Oh, look. This game also has 2,000 Gamerscore. Probably just load up the... Let me see. Let's see here. Collect a crystal. Okay. Collect 5 crystals. So you can get these 5 achievements worth 1,000 Gamerscore in literally probably 2 minutes or less. if you wanted to. Where the Bees Make Honey, 1200 or 1200. I talked about that game already. Eero Hero. This is another one of those twins top-down shoot-'em-up games. Really easy by East Asia Soft. If you want, you can. If you, it takes like 20 minutes or less, but it does involve a little bit of skill. Aborigenius, 2000 Gamerscore now because of a title update. Played it when it had 1000. This game isn't very good. Inferno 2 Plus twin stick shooter, takes about 45 minutes. Actually, a pretty decent game if you have the chance and the time to play it. I wouldn't not recommend it. And finally, last but not least, the last game. All of the games under this, by the way, are covered in other videos. But the last game for today's video is Deep Space Rush. And Deep Space Rush, easy completion. I think it takes 14 to 15 minutes. I think I played it last year to do research for my easiest games of the year video. I always in December play a bunch of the easy games to make sure that all my data and numbers are accurate so that I can properly make my list of easy games. This game was, I think, like number 4 on my list last year. Super easy if you want. And that is about it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I do hope you appreciated it. If you liked it, don't forget to drop a like. If you didn't like it, that's okay too. You can let me know in the comments down below why you didn't like it. Maybe I talked too much. Maybe I talked too little. Maybe you wanted to hear more about games and less about Gamerscore. Maybe you wanted to hear more about Gamerscore and less about games. Let me know how I can make this series better in the future. As for my next milestone, it will be 800,000. I don't know when I'm going to do it. Realistically, and I'm not even BSing, if based on all the easy games I have available to me right now that I haven't done yet, I could probably hit 800,000 in like 2 or 3 months. But realistically, I will probably be playing things like Cyberpunk and Hitman 3 and stuff like that instead, as I do enjoy mixing in easy games, but actually playing good games in between when possible. So realistically, I'll probably see you for 800,000 in like 10 months or so. But we'll see. Gamerscore is always changing. Achievements are always changing. And maybe this time next year, there will be a milestone stream and completions will be a new feature on Xbox. We can keep our fingers crossed and be optimistic about it. Thank you so much for watching. Drop a like, share the video with a friend. A super special thank you to everyone on Patreon for supporting the show. And hopefully, I see you soon. Peace.